A man arrested for allegedly shooting and killing a woman in the Northwest Valley. Police say Marvin Simmons opened fire after an argument, killing the victim while she was trying to drive away. It happened near Schomburg and Farm Roads. That's just west of Centennial Hills. Police say the two had a romantic relationship. Simmons has been booked on murder charges.
Las Vegas is known for its glitz, nightlife, and endless distractions. But behind the bright lights, there are moments when silence falls hard and heavy. On an ordinary afternoon, a young woman, well known in the local fashion scene, admired for her style and hustle, walked into an apartment thinking she was making a loving surprise. Within minutes, she was gone. Her name was Alysha, a boutique owner, model, and mother. She had built her brand from the ground up, carving out her place in a competitive city. But on March 16th, her story took a violent turn that left even seasoned locals stunned. What happened that day isn't just tragic, it's infuriating. A man she trusted, someone she believed cared for her, made a split-second decision that ended everything. And the reason? She showed up unannounced, while another woman, the mother of his child, was inside. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't confusion. This was rage. Before we get into how this unfolded and the choices that led to it, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? And have you ever seen a situation where jealousy crossed a line like this? Drop it in the comments. Let's get into it. Before we continue, if you're new here, welcome to Psycho Crimes. This is where we break down the world's most infamous crimes, chilling confessions, strange disappearances, and shocking trials. We don't just tell the story, we dig into the why, the how, and what it all really means. If you're into deep investigations and true crime storytelling that pulls no punches, you're in the right place. Thumbs up like this video, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story that'll leave you questioning everything. Now, back to Alysha's story, because what happened to her is not just devastating, it's a case study in how emotional manipulation, misplaced trust, and unchecked rage can create a deadly mix. Alysha Johnson was doing well for herself. In a city that demands constant hustle, she had built a reputation, not just as a model, but as a savvy boutique owner with a growing client base. She had a young son she adored and a following that admired her confidence, her style, and her drive. But behind the Instagram posts and the growing business, there was a man named Deontay Long. He wasn't just an ex, he was someone Alysha still shared a complicated connection with. And despite everything, she still made time for him. On March 16, 2024, she made what seemed like a simple decision to visit Deontay. She brought food. The peace offering maybe, a sign of affection. She didn't know another woman was already inside. And she definitely didn't know that walking into that apartment would be the last thing she'd ever do. It was just after 8 p.m. when Alysha Johnson stepped into the quiet apartment on Valley Drive in Las Vegas. She had brought food with her. A simple gesture, something warm to share. This wasn't a dramatic confrontation or a surprise visit. In her mind, this was familiar territory. She and Deontay had known each other for years. They had a child together. Whatever issues had existed in the past, Alysha believed this was still a space where she could show up and be respected. But she didn't know Deontay's current girlfriend was inside. And she didn't expect what came next. According to the woman who was already in the apartment, Deontay and Alysha spoke briefly in the living room. The exchange was calm. No yelling. No visible tension. Alysha stayed for about 10 minutes. And then she turned to leave. But as soon as she walked out the door, something shifted in Deontay. He followed her outside, shirtless, armed with a gun. A witness across the street said it happened fast. The shouting started first, then the shots. 4 of them. Alysha collapsed near the stairwell. Neighbors rushed out, but it was already too late. Her body was left there, exposed and lifeless, until first responders arrived. Deontay, meanwhile, ran back inside, slammed the door, and began what can only be described as a frantic attempt to erase what had just happened. The same girlfriend who had witnessed Alysha's arrival now found herself in the middle of something far worse, watching Deontay gather his things, wipe down surfaces, and prepare to flee. What was he thinking? That he could disappear? That a woman like Alysha, known, loved, followed, could be murdered in plain sight without consequence? His escape didn't last long. Las Vegas Metropolitan Police tracked him down in less than 20.
Best day of my life. Now we got this killer off the street.
After about a month on the run, one of Wisconsin's most wanted is now behind bars. And that is our big...
He was arrested without resistance. Back at the crime scene, detectives recovered the weapon. Witnesses had already given their accounts, and surveillance from surrounding homes helped solidify the timeline. But even with evidence stacked and motive staring them in the face, there was one question hanging over everything. But why would Deontay kill the mother of his child in such a public, reckless way? The answer, according to several of Alysha's friends, lies in his history. From the outside, Alysha Johnson's life looked charmed. She was a fashion model, a boutique owner, a single mother, and a woman known in both beauty and business circles across Las Vegas. But behind that public image was a strained, complex relationship with the man she once trusted, Dion. Their history dated back years, long before the boutique, before the photo shoots, before the public recognition. They had a child together, and for a time, they tried to build something stable. But over time, the relationship began to fracture. Friends say Alysha eventually made the difficult decision to step away, for her own peace and for her daughter's well-being. The breakup, though, didn't stop her from wanting to maintain some sense of connection. Not for herself, but for their child. Alysha believed in co-parenting. She still visited him from time to time, dropped off meals, checked in, not as a partner, but as a parent navigating shared responsibility. But Deontay didn't see it that way. According to those closest to Alysha, Deontay never truly accepted the separation. In his mind, her success, her growing presence online, even her kindness, it all read like rejection. He couldn't control her anymore, and it was eating at him. The tension deepened when Deontay started dating someone new. He allegedly told people that Alysha's visits were disrespectful. He believed she should stay away, even if they had a child together. That mindset, that misplaced pride, became more volatile with time. Several of Alysha's friends later told police that she had mentioned Deontay being unpredictable in recent weeks. She wasn't afraid of him, not entirely, but she had grown cautious. That night, she brought food over thinking it would be a simple, polite gesture. But in Deontay's world, her presence, especially while another woman was there, was something he couldn't tolerate. This wasn't about a heated argument. This wasn't a moment of passion. This was about control. The fact that Alysha turned her back and walked toward the door might have felt, to Deontay, like one more act of dismissal. Like she was reclaiming her independence once again. And in that moment his pride took over. His decision to grab a gun and follow her out wasn't some knee-jerk reaction. It was a deliberate act by a man who refused to let go. There were no warnings. No escalating argument. Just a trigger pulled 4 times. The aftermath of that tragic night unfolded rapidly, and within hours, Las Vegas was reeling from the horrific events that had taken place. Alysha Johnson, a woman who had made a name for herself in both the fashion world and the local business scene, was gone, her life taken in a senseless act of violence. As news of her death spread, disbelief turned to anger, and anger gave way to questions. How could someone so close, someone who had shared a child with her, commit such an unthinkable act? How had Deontay, once a part of her life, gone from a father and co-parent to a murderer? Police were quick to respond, launching an investigation that would uncover the disturbing details of the crime. Alysha's friends and family members were left in shock, struggling to process the loss of a woman they described as kind, driven, and full of life. Those who knew her best could not fathom how the father of her child could have crossed such a line. Meanwhile, Deontay's whereabouts remained a mystery. He initially disappeared after the shooting, likely believing he could evade capture. But his actions didn't go unnoticed. Witnesses reported hearing the shots fired, and several saw Deontay leaving the scene shortly after. As law enforcement began piecing together the timeline, it became clear that he couldn't outrun the truth. Within hours of the crime, a warrant was issued for his arrest, and the search began. Officers canvassed the neighborhood, contacted known associates, and issued alerts across the city. Deontay's car was found abandoned, a clear sign that he had fled, possibly attempting to escape to another city or even out of state. In the days that followed, the Las Vegas community came together in shock and disbelief. Memorials were held for Alysha, with friends and colleagues honoring her memory. The question on everyone's mind, though, was why? Why did a seemingly well-intentioned man choose to take the life of a woman he once loved, and who was, by all accounts, trying to be a responsible co-parent? The search for Deontay didn't take long. Less than 48 hours after the murder, he was found hiding in a nearby apartment complex. His face showed no signs of regret, no remorse. He was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, his bail set at an astronomical amount, indicating the severity of the crime. Deontay's capture was a relief to many, but it didn't bring Alysha back. It didn't answer the unanswerable questions, nor did it heal the broken hearts left behind. It only marked the beginning of a long, difficult journey toward justice. As the case of Alysha Johnson's tragic death progressed, it became clear that there was no simple explanation for the heart-wrenching crime that had taken place. Deontay's motives remained elusive, but the aftermath sent a powerful message about the consequences of toxic relationships and the darker side of human emotions. Alysha's life was taken in an instant, and with her passing, a life full of promise, love, and success was lost forever. Her family and friends were left to pick up the pieces of a shattered world, and no amount of justice could bring her back. But this case, as horrific as it was, offers valuable lessons for all who are willing to listen and reflect. While the full motivations behind Deontay's actions might never be understood, we can learn from the warning signs that led to this tragedy. Lesson 1. The hidden dangers of toxic relationships. Many people in Alysha's circle described her as a determined, strong woman. She had built a successful business and a well-regarded career, all while managing her responsibilities as a mother. But in the darkness of her personal life, things were unraveling. Alysha and Deontay's relationship was marked by tension and underlying issues, ones that may have been masked by their shared parenting responsibilities and public appearances. Toxic relationships often hide behind the facade of normalcy. From the outside, everything may appear to be fine, but beneath the surface, resentment, jealousy, and unresolved anger can simmer. In many cases, these hidden emotions can turn deadly when the right triggers set them off. For those in similar situations, this case serves as a stark reminder to pay attention to red flags. Emotional abuse, controlling behavior, or intense jealousy are often warning signs that shouldn't be ignored. If you or someone you know is in a toxic relationship, it's vital to seek help and find a way out before it's too late. Lesson 2. The cost of pride and ego. Deontay's actions seem to be fueled by a distorted sense of pride and ego. His inability to accept the end of his relationship with Alysha, along with the pressure of their co-parenting dynamic, seemed to eat away at him, culminating in this catastrophic act of violence. Too often, pride and ego can cloud judgment, causing individuals to act impulsively and without regard for the consequences. This case is a tragic reminder that unchecked anger and pride can destroy lives. Communication, humility, and emotional control are essential in preventing similar outcomes. When ego becomes more important than reason or compassion, it often leads to devastation, not only for the perpetrator but also for the victim and everyone left in the wake of their actions. Lesson 3. The ripple effect of domestic violence. While Deontay's actions were extreme, the broader issue at play here is one that plagues many households: domestic violence. Though this case did not feature the typical signs of physical abuse, the psychological and emotional toll of a toxic relationship can be just as damaging. When violence becomes the solution to personal conflicts, it ripples outward, affecting children, families, and entire communities. Raising awareness about the signs of domestic abuse and offering resources to victims is crucial in preventing future tragedies. Alysha's story could have been different if there had been more open conversations about the struggles of co-parenting, emotional manipulation, and how to handle conflict in healthy ways. This case, though heartbreaking, serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the importance of healthy relationships, emotional intelligence, and recognizing the warning signs of danger before it's too late. If you found this story impactful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Here at Psychocrimes, we dive deep into the most infamous crimes, baffling disappearances, disturbing confessions, and twisted criminal minds from around the world. We uncover the truth behind the crimes that shook the world, bringing you detailed investigations, gripping storytelling, and in-depth analysis. Join our community and stay informed about the cases that leave us asking, how could this happen? We'll continue to bring you the stories that matter and shine a light on the darkness hidden in the most twisted corners of our society. Stay tuned for more compelling true crime stories right here at Psychocrimes.